Eagles, maybe they will want to test them downfield. Who do you think will have a more dominant game or be the more important player in this game, Ayuk or Deebo?
Ooh, I think to start off, probably Deebo. So if you want to soften up that defense and get them tired, because remember, this is where those past few games the past 2 games have been playing against high-level opponents is really going to hopefully wane on them. Because I know you said they start slow, but that's more so like offensively. Defensively, no matter what, they're going to be fresh, and you want to like put some cracks in that armor throughout the game. So that's why you want to punch them in the mouth in the beginning. It really set that tone. I think the horizontal games is going to work because really their linebackers, I'm not too sure about the Eagles linebackers. I don't think they're better than average. So I think that's an advantage.
And I think they had one that was doing okay and got injured, and so now they're having
Cunningham,
like their third string.
They have some cool running linebackers, but it's nothing to be like, in terms of like matching up with the 49ers wise, the 49ers will win that with McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel. So I think this is where you're going to do like isolate McCaffrey a lot with those guys and play the horizontal game, the linear game with these two, with them. And then you pick and pop with like Kittle, Ayuk, and other receivers. And then you pop. So I think there's going to be you're going to have to throw a lot of change up and curveballs against them. And eventually you can just start letting Purdy sit back and just dice them because I think that's what it's going to be there. I think that's what Kyle's going to do. He's going to keep working it with them being the workload with Deebo and the company and McCaffrey running it. And then like certain moments is going to be like one to 2 times a drive where it's like, okay, Ayuk. So Ayuk will probably have like a 5-catch game, but he gets like 90 yards or something like that where he really just kills them. Because, he does have 40 of his 45 catches have gone for first down.
I was going to say, I saw that stat.
So
that's kind of incredible.
He's Mr. Impactful. Like, he's literally the chain or touchdown scorer. He's having the best year of his career, or at least he's projecting that way. He's trending that way. So, I mean, and Deebo did say that, like, he was cooking him. He was cooking James Bradbury on the corners. So, maybe not at first, but I think once he starts to pick it up, I think that's where they can get it. It's all about really how much can you slow down that pass rush, because that's really where you're worried about letting Purdy sit back there. Yep. Especially with that right side of the offensive line being shaky.
Yeah. Now, do you think that there'll be like a mental element of this for Purdy going back, standing across from Hassan Reddick, or do you think that?
No, I don't think
he'll credit him. Yeah.
No, I don't think he gets touched by that. I don't think I think no matter what, I don't think he's gonna care. I think like if anything, he's probably gonna feel motivated. Maybe he takes it upon himself. Like I let my guys down. Which I think he kind of said that in one of like an OTAs or in training camp. He said something about like. Yeah, just not being able to be out there, stuff like that. Like, I know he mentioned something like that. I can't say word for word.
He apologized to the veterans on the team. He said he felt bad for
which was unnecessary because really Kyle Shanahan should be the one that's apologizing for blocking an all-pro with the freaking backup tight end. But I digress. So I think
he's probably going to feel motivated. 7-step dropbacks?
Yeah, so I think he's going to feel like more motivated than anything, which – hopefully you don't hope he doesn't get too antsy, which is going to because a lot of times you feel motivated and juiced as a quarterback. It's not what you want because you're going to be sailing some passes, having some little inconsistencies with accuracy issues and such. But no, he's not going to be. I don't think he's going to feel scared or anything. I think he's going to feel locked in. I think they're all going to be locked in, and it's going to be really good.
I agree. I mean, and that's kind of like what we were talking about when projecting for the Seattle game. Not to look ahead because I'm so excited for this Eagles game, but I do think. In the same way that they got up for the Dallas game, this 49ers team is getting up for this Eagles game that's coming up, which is kind of funny. Have you seen the locker room interviews?
I think they're downplaying it. They're downplaying it. They're just like
they're so cool about it.
This is like, no, dude. It's like I think it's not so much like I've seen people like, oh, they're pack checking the scare. Where's all that talking? Because once again, they were asked that on Super Bowl week. They didn't freaking stay unsolicited. Deebo didn't go on a podcast and say like, yeah, bro, freaking like he was just like out of nowhere. It's like, whoa, where is this coming from? He was asked. All right. And then second of all, now I think at the point where I'm done talking, like I'm going to go whoop their ass like that. There's a thing like, and that's something I see all the time. And like watching UFC, like the last like hardcore 5 years, last 5 years, it's like at some point they just get done with talking. It's like, yeah, we've done the talking. We already know what the beef is like, what's up? Like square up. I'll see you Saturday. Or I guess in this case, Sunday. Like I'm done. So I think they're just trying to engage and put that focus in it because it's like, oh, we already know. Like we already know. There's nothing we're worried about. Like it's talking. We already know what it is. I know they've had that game circled because 1,000% like they're getting themselves up. And what Hassan Reddick said, that's definitely going to be something that's probably internally what they're going to try to be like. Yeah, remember those comments? Remember that pain? Like now we got Purdy in here. Now that we're healthy, like we got to lay it out there. Let them know it's a chance to rewrite history because that's pretty much what this is. Because let's be real, like that NFC Championship game was a debacle. for football fans, general football fans alike. Like, we were robbed of a great matchup, and now we'll never know who would actually won. This is going to be the best case we have, part one, because I'm pretty sure they're going to face each other in the playoffs this year again. Which, again, back to the mental aspect, because you're probably going to be back there again. Because even if you win this game, I don't feel too confident the Niners are going to be the number one seed. So at least you go into there again. It's like, we beat these guys again, but that was a regular season. So that way you still have a way to give yourself that edge. It's like, now we're really rewriting history. Like, that was the precursor. That was the warm up. You know, this is now the for real stuff going on. So I think that's where it's going to really kick in.
I like you saying that, because I've kind of heard people say, like, oh, they need to win this game so that they have the confidence when going to the playoffs. And then I almost got worried thinking the opposite, like, okay, well, the 49ers do win this regular season game that technically doesn't matter when it comes to, like, comparing how they're going to play in the playoffs. I worry that the 49ers would be like, oh, see, we knew that we should have won the first time, and then we won the second time, and like they could be too full of themselves. Sometimes I feel like the 49ers have a confidence, like an overconfidence problem, but I would rather them win this game.
I think they're mature enough to that. Although then again, who said, was it Trent Williams and someone else that said, like, after that 5-game winning streak that they lost that because they kind of took their gas off the pedal a little bit? They put off the pedal a little bit.
Warner.
Yeah, like they said something around those lines, right? And it's like, yeah, we probably lost sight, like, you know, so it's like, okay, well, but I think usually, like, at this point of the season, that's when the 49ers are really okay. Because look, you're 5 games in. There's like, what, like 12 more games left? It's like, God damn, this is a long ass season. It's like, well, let me just coast it for a second, you know? So, and maybe that's probably what they did a little bit, because it's not like the Vikings are actually a better team than the 49ers and stuff like that. I mean, again, like I said, the Bengals one, you can still make that loss, but the Vikings especially, and kind of the Browns, you know, but anyways, so I don't think that it's such a great thing. And honestly, I don't even mean to harp up too much about, like, they need this game for their mental, because even if they lose, like, I don't think it's going to necessarily hurt them so much either. I wouldn't say, I think the need is the wrong word. I think more so, like, you want this for them to have that edge, to, like, feel like, hey, we could do this. We can win this game.
I want this for the fans, to be honest. Like, I feel like it would feel so justifiably for the fans, and to kind of, like, I don't know. I didn't take, we'll talk. I didn't take